Let's have a look at the world of showbiz, should we? Anne's very excited because it is the 66th annual Grammy Awards tonight.
And this year, it's all about the biggest female stars, with Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus and Billie Eilish. They're competing against each other in the major categories.
Let's talk to Showbiz Reporter Ellie Phillips. Morning to you, Ellie.
Good morning,
we've hardly heard of any of these people, so you're really going to have to fill us in on what's going on.
Do you know, the funny thing is, everyone talks about Taylor Swift because she potentially will break records tonight. But there's actually an artist called Caesar, which, when you look at the word, it's S-Z-A. She's the most nominated artist for tonight's Grammy. She's up for 9 awards with her second album, which is called SOS. She's an R&B soul artist who's really, really good. But yeah, like you said, the big artist is that females are dominating this year, which is amazing. And they're dominating the big 4 categories because there are actually 80 categories. So I'm not going to go through them all because we'd be here forever. It's a very, very long ceremony. But it's because it covers all genres of music, everything from African, Latin, jazz, soul, country. But the big main 4 every year are the ones that people talk about the most. And they've been whittled down from 10 nominees to 8 this year. So there are 8 competing in each. And actually, there's only one male artist, a guy called John Baptiste, who's up for record, album or song of the year. They're all women. So this really is the year of the women. Talking to Taylor Swift, who we probably have heard of, it's her album Midnight, which could make her the first artist to win album of the year 4 times. She's currently tied on 3 with Frank Sinatra, Stevie Wonder and Paul Simon as well. So she could make history. I mean, she's already the woman with the most of those, but she could become the artist overall, regardless of sex.
Now, I've heard of them.
Ever hold it? Yeah, exactly. So
well,
this is why
it. You see, it's a bit like, is this just a sign of our age, or is it? But you think of the greats, as it were, compared to, looking down my list here, Dua Lipa or Billie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a bit of a. Are we just out the loop?
I think the thing is, it's that there's access to so many more artists now. Back in the day, it was like you had to have, a big major record deal. There weren't as many. There just wasn't the range of artists. Whereas now, I think it's a lot easier for people. Well, slightly easier for people to break through with digitization of music and the internet and social media. You have a wave of new artists, and there's a lot more genres. So I think, and some of the names you mentioned there, for example, Billie Eilish will be an icon in her own right when you look back in years to come, like without a doubt there. So there are names that will come through, but then there are also names who will only get 1 or 2 here or there. And I think that's why the Grammys are so important. Still, some people say, are they still relevant? But actually, when it comes to musicians and you look at legacy, the thing they always say is, they won a Grammy or they won 10 Grammys or, that's the pinnacle of their career. And it also opens up so many people around the world to new artists. So, for example, like I said, Caesar's up for 9 awards. A lot of people in the UK won't have heard of her, but after tonight, they will check out her music, because I think if you're at the point where you're up for 9 Grammys, it's like, maybe I should check her out, And that's across all different genres as well. Like I mentioned before, there are so many others, and it's great to see them come through. And there's also a category which is New Artist of the Year. Really hotly contested. It's one of the big 4. And it's always good to see, because in there you might be like, oh, but that one's been around for a while. But actually, in that year, the impact they've made that's put them on this international stage, which if you look at America and the size of the market over there, if you can break America, then, commercially, you're doing very, very well. And they're like, OK, you've broken through now.
OK, so we were talking a bit earlier about whether we knew Taylor Swift at all and whether we could name a song, because you'd think that we'd probably be aware of one of her big songs, and we couldn't come up with one. So, Ellie, tell us a couple of her songs that we should know.
Oh, my God, there are so many. Trouble. Let me think now. I think off the top of my head, you've got me going, but they're all the catch. Do you know, the thing is, with Taylor Swift, with her songs, and I actually think you would know them if you heard them. So even if I say the names, you might be like, but then when they come on, you would almost automatically recognize them because they're just so catchy. I mean, I think she's got so many albums. She re-recorded albums because they were so popular.
You're looking it up now.
I am. Yeah. I can't think of them off the top of my head because I can sing them all, but no one wants me singing at this time in the morning. I'm telling you that.
No.
At all.
It's like being on a quiz show.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so here we go. Okay, so you've got love story, shake it off. Okay, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. No?
No, I do know that one.
Yeah,
I have heard that one.
If I sing them, which I apologise for doing this time in the morning, that's when you'll hear them. So it's the ones where you, like anti-hero, if that means anything to you guys. No, honestly, they're the ones when you hear them, you hear the chorus, and you're like, oh, I knew you were trouble, which if I sing it a little bit, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. No?
Well, look, she must be good because there are lots of reports
popular.
saying that when her tour comes to town, she can change the economy of a city just by doing a gig there, apparently.
Yeah,
she must be incredibly good because she's so incredibly successful.
She is good. She's great live. And actually, her recent tour broke records. It doubled the amount of money made for kind of the economy worldwide. She made $2 billion for economies worldwide. And the great thing about Taylor Swift is as well, apart from her music, when she goes to different cities, the stadiums, what she does is she donates money to shelters and to groups that give out food banks. So she donates to them every city she goes to. So she's aware. I mean, she's got this, jet set lifestyle where she's on planes all the time, but she does give back and she does make sure that her impact in areas is very, very positive.
Well, she sounds like a very nice person, which is what matters. Ellie, good to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for explaining it to us.